affects my day-to-day life. So, why are we so bad at solitude, but our King did it quite well? As a man, Jesus knew his limitations. He understood his need to connect with his Father, to his guidance and power. He knew how good the connection was, and he wanted us to know. If solitude is so good, then why do we struggle? Well, we're too busy. We got a family. We got kids. We got practice. You know, for us and my family, we got T-ball games on Monday. We got practice on Thursday. We got everything else going on. We try to get in the arena 2, 3, 4 times a week so we can get a little practice in on our horses. I mean, we're busy. Some of us got little kids. I've got 8-month-old babies. So, it's a lot sometimes that goes on in our day-to-day lives. But it's mainly because we're out of practice. We don't practice to wake up that 10 minutes early before the kids get out of bed, because my case is I'm up until midnight, 1 o'clock after the kids went to bed at 8:30 or 9 to clean house, help my wife around the house, get everything in order for the next day, do laundry, whatever it is that we need to do. So we want to, my case again, I want to sleep until that last minute so I can get up out of bed and go wake the kids up and let's get our day started. But our culture trains us to be in motion. We're multitaskers. My wife always tells me that she's a good multitasker. She is, but it's like sometimes she's got 10 different things started, but we never finish any of them. And that's just how we are. And I'm as bad as anybody at that as well. So sometimes we just got to slow down, keep it simple. And sometimes also, whenever we get in solitude, it's confrontation. We're wanting to, we're fighting with an inner demon. We're fighting with something that maybe the Lord has called us to do or is telling us not to do, and we don't want to face that. So in 1 Corinthians 3:16, the Spirit, it tells us that the Spirit dwells in us. Don't you know that you yourselves are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in your midst? God's right there with us all the time. And we never know what might happen when we're alone with God. He may ask us, like I said, to stop doing something, to start doing something. I got a joke with some friends that tell God no. Tell God no. They invited me to church at one of our other rodeo associations, and I said, we're going to sleep till 11. We don't have to be here till 11. We're going to sleep in the morning. And they said, that's fine. Just tell God no. Well, it's just kind of a running joke now, but we did. We chose to tell God no that morning and not go to church. Call it karma, call it what you want, but we got turned out that morning because we was late. So, also in Hebrews 12:5, God asks us to step out of our comfort zone. Hebrews 12:5 is, and you have completely forgotten the words of encouragement that address you. And your father addresses his son. He says, my son, do not make light of the Lord's discipline. Do not lose heart when he rebukes you, because the Lord's discipline is one he loves. And chastise everyone he accepts as his son. But if we avoid the confrontation, we'll miss his companionship, his counsel, his comfort, his restoration, his rescue. It takes courage. We have to take that courage to move on. We must not worry that we don't yet do it well. And we must make solitude a priority to get tuned in to God, just as Jesus did. So to leave you with it, I don't ever like to preach a message or anything that don't have maybe a solution to it. Just leave it to yourself, but maybe just an idea to keep you on track. Start small. chapters, I got to read 2 verses because that's my attention span and my reading ability. So you gotta, you can't dive in and think, oh, if I read 18 chapters that I'm gonna get the most out of it. Sometimes the best study I ever did, whenever I was in high school, I always made the solitude commitment. Not always, but a lot of times I did. I would wake up 10 or 15 minutes early, and I'd sit down in my chair, and I'd read my Bible, and I'd pray. Sometimes it was because I could get an extra 15 minutes of nap if my mom had to back like I was praying. But, so, find something that works for you. Turn off your cell phone, your iPad, your computer. Take a walk if you work at a job where you can get away at lunch. Step away from your desk and go for a walk. Some people work from home and they're able to just take a walk down to the bar. Just something where you can take that moment for yourself and don't let those times slip away from you. Try that waking up 10 minutes early. I know that's hard sometimes. But maybe that 10 minutes last night, I had to do mine in 10 minutes before I went to bed because where I was at. I felt guilty that I was preaching this and I wasn't taking my 10 minutes. That's not asking a lot for an hour of our day. Sometimes we're ready to move forward, we're ready to do more. And maybe it's you take a half a day off and you spend a day with God. You spend a full day. Maybe you take a little bit of a vacation wherever you're ready to get to that point. Make reading your Bible and studying your Bible a priority. Praying and talking to God is very important in our Christian day-to-day walk. And that's all it boils down to is He just wants us to spend time with Him. We don't have to understand anything. But if you'll spend time with Him, you'll understand a whole lot more than you did before. Guys, I hope that encourages you a little bit.